नमस्कार, मैं अशोक व्यास हूँ और दुनिया कैसे बदलती है उसका संबंध एक देश के चुनाव से कैसे होता है, इसका ताजा परिचय हमें मिला है जब राष्ट्रपति के रूप में अमेरिका ने डोनाल्ड जे ट्रंप को दूसरी बार नेतृत्व प्रदान करने के लिए चुना। उनका जो मुख्य वाक्य रहा है, मेक अमेरिका ग्रेट अगेन, उसके साथ कई लोगों को बहुत सारी अपेक्षाएं जो रही हैं, वो न केवल अमेरिका में लागू होती है बात, बल्कि पूरे विश्व में। NFI use the term disruptive type of approach is what many people see is likely to be visible very soon from the new White House under President Trump. But how it will have its impact on India, how world is reacting to this historical win of President Trump, we'll talk about that. And I have the pleasure of welcoming Jagajit Singh ji and Rajendra Harsha ji both. Namaste, welcome. स्वागत है आपका. So I would begin with you, Rajendra ji. Were you expecting the kind of margin that brought President back to White House?
It's great. Nobody expected this, that that will be that triumph victory for Trump. So, and it was, I think, even they themselves did not expect. But this has been a great victory for him. And just to start it, what you are saying, that is a disruptive type of they're expecting the policies. So basically, what is happening that till now Democrats were having a disruptive policy, and now it will be constructive policies. It will be a disruptive policy. Till now, the lefts were disrupting throughout the world. The governments they were disrupting. Recent example is of Bangladesh. Okay, they were disrupting, supporting those groups which were disrupting the elected governments at various places. Now that thing we expect now that Trump will disrupt means it will be more constructive as far as the world is concerned. That's, I think, an initial remark I just wanted to give you.
So quickly we will talk about what to expect, but Jagajit Singh ji, what do you think contributed mainly in this win for President Trump?
See, I was expecting this win. Why? Because of certain reasons. The reason number one being inflation and price rise. See, people all over the world in any country, they go for a status quo when there is everything good. But when the policies of a government hits their own pockets, meaning thereby when you go and buy something for, you were used to buying something for $2 and now it costs $10, it hits your pocket. And once it hits your pocket, you want to change the government. This is what was happening, number one. Number two, the border was totally open and you had so many people coming in, which was inflicting upon the taxpayers' money, and everybody was seeing it. So these two things, we have to imagine, on the ground, forget about the mainstream media, the cable media, which, trumpeted till the end that Trump is losing. But other than that, people on the ground knew it. Even in a sanctuary city and state like New York, the Republicans got a large number of votes. Then, we'll discuss it later as to who voted and who did not vote. Because technically speaking, in 2016, Trump had got 74 million of the popular votes. In 2024, he got only 73 million votes. 1 million less than what he had in 2020. I'm sorry to say, 2020. Then, how did he win? Because people did not vote for Kamala Harris. There was a large gap there. People who had voted for Joe Biden, in 2020, Joe Biden had secured 81 million votes, whereas Kamala Harris got only 69 million. So what happened? Why didn't somebody vote for that candidate? Because she was not acceptable for the people because of the policies of Biden and because she has nothing more to say, nothing new to say.
So let me
That resulted in Trump's victory.
let me take it towards what didn't work for Kamala Harris from Indian Americans' point of view. And of course, Indian Americans, as the America, were divided in terms of their preference for the presidential candidate. Um, the relationship of or the reference of Indian roots, I think, didn't work that well with all the voters because they were looking for the substance in the presidential material, and many people didn't find exactly what they wanted. But looking again, as we are going to be doing from India's point of view, the meaning of President Trump being there, Rajendra, do you think this emotional card which Democrats were playing to sort of appeal different galleries, and that includes Indian Americans, how it played out? And traditionally, Democrats have been sort of the preferential party for many Indian Americans. So this time around, what was your observation?
Yeah, actually, first thing, what Jagajit Singh just told is a very interesting thing. There is one real good question. The vote, number of popular votes have reduced for Kamala Harris also and for Trump also. So where those voters have gone? Have they sat on in their houses and they did not vote? Or there were illegal votes which have been taken out of the electoral system. So that is because both have reduced the number of votes. If Kamala Harris reduced the number of votes, Trump votes should have increased. But Trump vote also reduced from 74 to 71, and here 81 million to 69 million. So both places the votes have reduced, means either voters have not voted anywhere, or the voters were illegal voters and they were from electoral rolls, they have been removed because they were not real voters. That might be one of the reasons. Now, as far as the thing is concerned, why we are not expecting that much of a Trump? Because those who are voters for the Trump, they are not voice leaders on the social media and all those. All the media is covered by the Democrats, so the voices are more loudly heard whatever the Democrats voters they were talking about, and all the emotional things they were. Now the question is, there is a large, as my understanding, and I may be wrong, I may get corrected, but there is a large number of voters which they really this time because of the conflict of Israel and this Palestine, many Muslim voters in confusion that is the Biden this party, Democrat Party will be supporting or not supporting. They are taking, so the Kamala Harris was seen as if she's not taking a decision this or that side. So that those voted might have stayed out of the voting or did not vote for her. That might be one of the reasons. Secondly, as far as the main issue which was there of my body, my right, this was the abortion issue, Trump has told very clearly, and his change is thing from the traditional Republican, that I am for this thing, that after 3-4 months and there should be some period about that abortion and this to be decided by the states as well the Supreme Court has told, not by the federal government. So this is not the issue. So that has gone well. Third thing which has gone well very much in the favor of this Elon Musk. The way Elon Musk, who was basically a Democrat, well-known Democrat for years together, he's coming to them and he is gave the freedom of expression on X. Okay. So that has made a difference because earlier the Twitter was so much one-sided. So those things which he wanted to say. So there had been a lot of interviews, a lot of things of those who are Republicans, and they have got that space on the social media. That also made an event.
So
that's why I think these are the main things which have been
absolutely
there. And very important.
Yeah, let me take it from Elon Musk to Jagajit Singh Ji by referring to two other main names, which we saw as the very strong campaigners for President Trump, and they are also being given an important role in the new White
Yeah.
House administration. I'm referring to Vivek Ramaswamy and also Tulsi Gabbard. Jagajit Singh ji, the presence of Vivek Ramaswamy in Trump team, uh, does it tell you that there is likely to be a lot of disruptions? Because the kind of idea as a presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy proposed, whereby he wants to remove a lot of employees from the federal machinery and wants to open up, and I still have to understand what was going on in his mind. But we'll talk about the efficiency part as the responsibility is being given to Elon Musk later. But talk to me about the significance of Vivek in Trump administration from the point of view of Indo-America relationship also.
See, now as we see the cabinet taking shape, the focus on Trump 2.0 is primarily defense. If you look at the appointees, and defense, immigration, and economic efficiency. See, Vivek Ramaswamy has from the very beginning talked about woke culture, which has kind of the ultra left oriented uh, domination in American culture, American life. And perhaps that is what he means by that is what Trump thinks, that when brought into the government of economic, Department of Economic Efficiency, that change will reflect. The woke culture has disrupted, because there is a lot of confusion. He, she, it, everything, the transgender. I'm not against any of that. Let it be there. But that creates a confusion. So that confusion needs to, there has to be a stop somewhere. That is the woke culture which goes beyond the family life, the cultural life, and expresses itself. Those things have to be curtailed, and perhaps Vivek Ramaswamy has been brought in along with Musk. Musk again, somebody asked him, why did you spend that much money on Twitter? Because he bought it in a large amount of money. He said, I did not buy Twitter, I bought America's freedom of expression. So look at that. That kind of a statement reflects within itself what these people want. They want a local American, a simple American to talk, vent their feelings, which was not there earlier on, which was not there because within the Biden government and the Democratic Party, they believe that they are knowing everything. And whatever they say has to be a diktat rather than painting Trump as a Hitler, as a dictator, but they were them. It were them
Right.
who were. And we Indians, what happens is India is a democratic country, and when we go outside to the USA, we feel that the Democratic Party, because of the name democratic in it, we feel that it is a natural corollary. But remember, most of the benefit Indian government has ever got is through the Republican government. Nuclear
So,
deal
Jagmeet
would
Singh
not
ji,
have happened.
yeah, Jagmeet Singh, in his address, President Trump said this is a historical win, and I see it is a historical uh, transition of a kind which is going to affect not just American economy, American defense, but also the social fabric, the way we see it, and how it trickles down from the policies that are made. And in addition to that, it is also going to reflect in the new image of America with respect to several countries. And that I'll bring Rajendra ji with reference of Canada, and not just approach of Canada, but also in certain references related to designated terrorist by India for pro-Khalistani stand, and the way America stood with him and sort of put India in a corner. Let me seek your opinion on, will Canada stand in terms of its pro-Khalistani approach, as well as several allegations which were not founded on proper evidence, will it shift? Uh, Somehow, I gather that there was a subtle support from America for Canada, which also resulted in its sustaining the stand that it took without actually giving adequate evidence to support what was being said from Canada. So, in the larger scheme of things, how do you see things are likely to take shape now?
So asking me, Ashwini?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So the basic thing is what they are talking about, that till now there, I don't agree with that. America had a hand, they had some tactical support to Canada. They were going hand in hand. So it was a joint strategy of America, of the liberals of US and liberals of Canada, to keep a tab on India's prominence into the world politics. Okay. Now, the Trump main aim is to look in within the country, see that everything is being good. And the main aim of the left is to see throughout the world and disrupt all the governments. And they, the liberals had the two-pronged theory. One is election, another is construction. So first they give the warhead and they sell the all those war machinery and earn money, and when everything is destroyed, then they send their contractor to construct it and again earn the money. So that, and in that, the whole deep state is there, because there are interested parties in constructing and selling those who are gaining money. It is not coming to the government. It is not coming to this. It's coming to the few individuals, those who want, which we call as a deep state, who are getting benefit out of both the things. So they were disrupting all the over the world, everywhere. Now, that disruption in the Trump will be definitely reduced, and so he's moving that my efficiency should increase, my citizens should get benefit, that inflation should be go down, his life should be better, and America should be greater again. And that in that case, for efficiency, is chosen Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk. So they have legal mind and they have the business mind. Another thing which we should not forget is the junior candidate, who has been given the responsibility of medicines and all those where the main racket of health insurance and everything is going on. He has been given the responsibility to see that everything is being put onto the line, and those things in the name of environment, so many things are being done, as the book, as Jagajit Singh was saying. So that's to be curbed upon that. So with all these things, because now everything, whole administrative of Trump 2.0 is look within, to work within the US and not to disrupt outside. So definitely India will get a benefited on that. So, and Trump's views on that is very known. Another thing, all Indians which are coming out to the US, mostly all the professionals, 90% of the Indians coming, they are coming through the legal means over here. They struggle here for years together to get a green card and years to get a citizenship after putting a lot of hard work, money, and paying to social security and everything. Against that, when they see that liberals are allowing illegal immigrants and coming, and the day they come, they get all the benefits without doing anything over here, without contributing to this economy they're doing, definitely that will make. So India and America relations on that thing will definitely get, but there's some illegal immigrants from India, whatever, they'll definitely get a brunt.
Yeah, I think
but
that's
basically,
a very important, yeah. I think that's a very important point. I want us to touch another side also. relating to the region which includes Bangladesh, Pakistan, India, of course, and there has always been a kind of balancing act from the American point of view earlier with respect to India and Pakistan. Things have changed, but I found it also appealing for many Indian Americans the open support or rather criticism for the way minority Hindus were treated in Bangladesh.
Mhm.
And it is nobody's, it is not a secret that Muhammad Yunus happens to be someone who is planted from outside with American support. That is the perception you gather based on the images that you see as well as the way things have unfolded. Now, how do you see, in the context of Bangladesh, the possible approach which Trump administration is likely to have? Will it be different than the Biden approach, which was quick to sort of ban entry of Sheikh Hasina to America? How do you see that playing out? Because it is also going to reflect on Indo-US, Indo-Bangladesh relationships down the line.
Uh, President Trump was vocal enough to talk about the atrocities being committed on Hindus in Bangladesh. That shows the path. And then look at the appointments in the cabinet which has happened. Mark Waltz, he is the national security advisor and also at the same time leader of the India caucus. That is one. Marco Rubio, the Secretary of Affairs State who has been appointed, he is considered to be hawkish and anti-China. So now this person, Secretary of State, would be visiting all the countries one by, depending, and what his stance would be, and his stance towards against terrorism is well known. He has always said Hamas is to blame for whatever is happening. Being questioned, the videos are viral, and so on and so forth. Then come to Tulsi Gabbard, the only Indian Hindu, rather I would say, the Hindu in the cabinet who took oath as a senator on Bhagavad Gita. And she is the national director of national intelligence, which means she will be supervising 18 spy agencies within the United States. So the approach of the government, the outlook, naturally everything has to be focused as to what Trump is thinking, and Trump has been vocal even during his election campaign about India, about Indian Hindus, atrocities. So, you will have a favorable, and already you see Elon Musk has already said that the days of Trudeau are marked and he'll be gone. So look at that. My own
Absolutely.
perception is within 3 or 4 months, Musk would be, Trudeau would be gone, and even there will be a change in scenario in Bangladesh. The government would change.
So, with both of you and our viewers, I also congratulate President Trump in bringing the kind of excitement which not just his actions, but the way he connects, the way he candidly expresses himself has already generated. And very briefly, both of you, the criticism on the choice that you see in the names that you mentioned from President Trump. Uh, you see in a lot of media outlets mentioning that these people have no experience of the responsibility that is being given to them. So there is likely to be problem or hurdles in their confirmation. How do you see that is likely to play out and the criticism itself? Let me begin very briefly, Rajendra, with you.
Just before that, I'll just would like to give one caveat. We need not to be very happy about that everything will be going go, because Trump is going to be a very tough negotiator. He will be working not in the favor of India or not favor of Bangladesh. He'll be working in favor of America. So whatever needed for America, he'll be doing it whosoever is there. Even in China, he will deal with them. It's not because of he's against India or something, then nothing is going to happen. But the main important thing is that he will not disrupt the Bangladesh, he will not disrupt the India. So what they were, bad things were being done, wrong things were being done by the Democrats will not be done. At the same time, he'll be going to be very tough and he'll look into the interests of the US and accordingly he'll be negotiating with everybody. So we need to be ready for that.
I think that is what voters expect. And as Indian American, I also would like to see America retains its prestigious position in the world scene as well as grow economically. But very, very briefly, just we have 1 minute. Jagajit Singh ji, confirmation of the nominees of President Trump. Do you think there is likely to be some problem?
There should be no problem because at the moment, Republican Party has the trifecta favor in itself. They are heading the White House. They are heading the Senate. They are leading. They have the majority in the House of Representatives. So there should be no problem with anyone. Yes, Jai Chands are there in every party and in everywhere. So, you will gather support and look at the border czar. Just one small factor. The border czar in Biden administration was Kamala Harris, the presidential candidate from the Democratic Party. And look what happened. Everybody imploded. Now, who is the border czar? The border czar at this moment is Tom Homan. He was the director of ICE. And, look at his videos during the testimony. He has blasted everybody that you have allowed these things to happen. The executive, the legislature has allowed people to come in.
Let us respect the border and also the border of time. So respecting the border of time, as I move towards the concluding part, I'm also quickly taking the liberty of recollecting with both of you. President Trump criticized President Biden on not having fired many people, and you remember in the first few months he was firing left, right, and center, and I hope that is not repeated. His choices are kind of stable right from the day one, and they get the kind of rhythm which has.
Ashok, he will not fire one or two, he'll fire in groups.
Okay. See, Trump is
this time he's going to fire in groups. Okay, and that is going to happen because he's given a deadline to both Elon Musk and them that by this time we want efficiency. So a deadline is given for everyone. So the firing will happen, but will happen in group. Will not be one or two coming or going. It will be
if you are not
constructive firing.
He'll fire
you.
So let's say everything moves forward in a amicable type of a fashion where people find their spirits uplifted rather than feeling disappointed. Those good wishes from both of you as well as from our viewers. And thanks to Rajendra ji, Jagajit Singh ji for joining us. And I think
thank you, Ashok ji.
This is a very important area that is drawing our attention. So with lots of good wishes, this is Ashok Vyas. Namaste.